And we're back for another episode of the group chat, joined by Phil. What's happening? How we doing?
Haven't done a Tuesday in a while.
No. How you feeling being back on a Tuesday?
Feels good. Get a little recap of the... Well, let's not talk Premier League, but feels good to recap everything else over the weekend.
Yeah, well, you did that little meme yesterday with the Europa League finals, and the Tottenham United record does not look well at all going to this final.
Just for the Europa League, though.
Why, you due?
Still undefeated. Hey.
Due a win too?
Who?
Well, United, that's... You lose.
Yep.
Due. You got to be due at some point, right?
Yep. Correct.
How was the weekend, though? You catch some sport?
Let Tottenham grab any sort of silverware. UFC good.
Mm-hmm.
NRL good.
Mm-hmm.
Super Rugby pretty good too.
Yeah, just the 4 games in Super Rugby.
Yeah. Cheifs Crusaders, obviously the big one.
Mm-hmm.
It was good.
Yeah, just parked up on the couch.
JDM got the belt.
He did, didn't he? Well, so basically we'll chit-chat on those a little bit later. UFC, we'll probably start with some Super Rugby. We'll get into the Rugby League and, of course, a little bit of Premier League action. A little bit of Nottingham Forest too.
Sure.
And Woodsy.
Nice Woodsy.
Breaking records, come on. But first, we do have the Bet Your Base giveaway. So, Auckland FC. Obviously, they've got their 2-leg semi-final kicking off this week against the Melbourne Victory. And for their home game next week, we do have a little something special. So we've got the Bet Your Base.
Okay.
Which is on the port end. It's in the left corner, right?
Right on the corner, isn't it?
Right on the corner. So you're there, pitch side, food, drink, everything you could ask for, basically. Some merch. But we've got some points. So we're giving away 20 VIP tickets, double passes to the Bet Your Base for the home semi-final, Auckland FC versus Melbourne Victory. Like I said, food and drink are available. Premium pitch side viewing.
Scrumptious.
Probably get some good photos there too. Some good photo ops and the exclusive merch, which I believe you can only get in that Bet Your Base too. So you must be 18 to enter. T's and C's obviously apply, but get amongst it. There's probably, apart from the port, probably not a better space you want to be in for that semi-final.
Iconic goal from that corner.
There is, from the corner.
From the corner.
Yeah, so if you'd seen that video.
Prime.
And I mean, that video's got a fair amount of views, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to pull it up right now. It's got how many thousand views? 181,000 views. Boom. And that video is from that corner.
You want to be there.
You want to be there. Last time, pure scenes from the Bet Your Base. You definitely want to be there. So make sure you enter in the comp. When does it close, Phil? Do you know?
Is it the 17th?
This Sunday, I'd say. Or
18th?
this Saturday. It closes this weekend.
Yeah.
So get involved, get
now.
amongst it. And yeah, we'll catch you in the Bet Your Base.
Sheesh. League
Can't
2.
wait. League 2. Hopefully they can get up big this weekend over in Melbourne.
More history.
Yeah. Become the first team to do the double. Because Western Sydney, they won the premiership in their first year.
Oh, yep.
Couldn't win the championship, though. So Auckland FC win the premiership their first year, do the double, win the championship. Do it for Bill Foley.
Shoulder.
Let's go. All right. So, should we chit-chat about the UFC?
Oh, yeah.
Should we do the UFC to start with?
Oh, yeah.
All right. What did you make of it, Phil? UFC 315. Navajo Stirling, he's in there. JDM. Some good Australasian Oceania talent in there.
Some serious
over
presence.
in Montreal.
Navajo probably a little bit unlucky the KO wasn't called.
No.
Could have been when he dropped him. And another day, another ref, maybe. Yeah, pretty solid performance. Got the dub. I think Natalie Silva, also impressive. Future champ on the way in the women's flyweight. Jose Aldo,
hanging the gloves up.
It's sad. I thought it might happen when this goes to decision. Saw it in his last fight against Mario Bautista. Really good against the takedowns. Does still very clinical for how much of a veteran he is.
Well, how old is he? Do you know? Off the top of your head?
I want to say close to 40.
He's been around a while.
Yeah.
But yeah, throw some clean strikes in there still pretty quick.
Yeah, he still looks Yeah, he's 38. He still looks snappy.
Mm-hmm.
And then obviously I thought the challenges. Well, one challenger got it done.
Yep.
The important challenger got it done.
Yeah.
Valentina cementing her spot still as champion. And
that was by points decision. As well, right?
Yep.
I did
Very
miss
close.
that fight.
Very close.
Yeah. Both of them looked pretty rocked.
Yeah. And then Bilal. I don't know if you saw the images after that fight as well.
Wow,
the split lip, the orbital.
That was a proper
broken.
war for 5 rounds, that one.
Definitely not a boring one.
No.
Definitely not.
Which, does that put to bed the Snooze Hamid allegations?
Certainly helps against those allegations. Yeah.
I did see some stuff about, obviously, the fans find him pretty boring to watch, sorry.
Yeah.
Just because of his style. But there's been some comments out there about him listening to the fans and going away from his style that made him champ, and that's why he lost, because he went away from what made him a winner, which was his boring style.
Interesting. Yeah.
But he goes away from it. He has a war. Yeah, it's great entertainment, but he's no longer champ.
I mean, he still went for 9 takedowns.
Yeah.
Only got 3 of them in the bag.
And that's credit to JDM, clearly.
Yep. And he went toe-to-toe with JDM, and they just went... There were moments where they were just trading shots.
Yeah.
Yeah, real sick fight, to be honest. And stoked that JDM got the decision. There were moments there where I thought JDM was going to finish.
Yeah.
But...
Would have loved to see
Bilal can take some shots.
Oh, yeah.
My God. I think a lot of other fighters, you get rocked, you get knocked out there. But Bilal just absorbed it, and you saw that split lip.
Oh, that split lip is nasty. It actually is nasty. It's in 2.
Yeah.
And then he's the orbital, he's got the scar there, he's got the scar on the eyebrow.
Yeah.
Oh, JDM did some work on him.
Gonna have like a cleft lip after that.
Yeah,
Ouch.
proper. Like, oh. Yeah, I wonder when he's going to come back, because...
You could put a credit card through that, do some
You
transactions.
could put more than a credit card. It's probably like a card holder.
5
Yeah.
cards, it's a wallet.
It genuinely is. Like, if I had my card holder on me, it's probably about that thick. The split lip is genuinely... It's pretty gruesome. But yeah, he did a toll on him.
I don't know.
I haven't seen the after photos of the Navajo fight. Obviously, Navajo. That was a bit of a war too. I mean, both fighters in that 3rd round took to each other. Navajo probably just had a bit more gas in the tank to keep throwing. Probably landed more of the significant strikes too to do more of that damage. But I did rate... Who was he fighting? What was his name?
Ivan Erslan.
I did rate how he was just getting pumped with like 2 minutes to go, and then he's still there hyping the crowd up. And obviously they've talked up a bit of a fight. Navajo said it after his fight too, about why he kept going, because he promised a finish. He promised fireworks. So he said he had that in the back of his mind. A little voice just telling him, keep going, bang, bang, bang. Obviously couldn't quite get the finish. I messaged you straight after being like, ref probably could have called it there. Unlucky not to get it, but
what matters is the dub.
Win is a win, and he goes 7-0.
Yeah,
let's go.
You can look at the strikes here: 124 to 63, so over double. Significant strikes: 110 to 36. Takedowns 3 out of 5 to 0 and 3. So all round, huge shift from Navajo.
Yeah. So,
regardless of TKO, no TKO, the dub, the 7-0, we take that away.
Absolutely. And what his first... it was on the prelims, but first, other than a fight night, right? He's on his first pay-per-view.
Yeah.
I wonder when he's going to get into the main card. Do you reckon that's coming up in his next 2 fights?
He's on the way.
Yeah. Well, we've got Carlos Solberg now, who's probably title contender in the light heavyweight division. You got Navajo coming up. Got Kai Kara France. I'm only saying this because I'm trying to write like the...
Right.
It seems like a bit
champ,
of
JDM champ.
We've got some pretty good Australasian talent in there. So,
serious.
A question for you, Phil: are we in a bit of a golden age for UFC in Australasia with the popularity of the sport?
Well, yeah, we've got 2 Aussie champs right now. So
the fighters. It's a bit sad there's no Izzy in there, but he's still fighting. He's still got a UFC roster spot, doesn't he?
Still one of the best champs to ever exist. So definitely. And you got these younger guys coming up as well. It's exciting stuff. I don't know if you want to coin it Oceania fan, but, for the Aussies and the Kiwis, it's big.
Yeah, and I mean, this is probably one of the few times we probably jump on with the Aussies just because we're kind of all in it together when it comes to UFC, right?
Yep.
Like, I feel like the Aussies support the Kiwis just as much as we support the Aussies when it comes to fighting.
Yeah.
Let's go.
It's a good little partnership there.
Big and little brother.
Yeah. Rob
Let's
Whittaker.
go. Yeah. Well, when I was going through and writing that thing, obviously Mark Hunt, first Kiwi to headline a pay-per-view, but then it was Robert Whittaker, Adesanya was the next one, and it's the first all-Australasian card, or main fight of a card. So, pave the way. Let's go.
Got a couple in the road to UFC as well. I think like 2 Aussies and obviously Aaron Toe's
Aaron
in there.
Toe making his way to China for Road to UFC. And that starts in June. Did we
next weekend?
Next weekend.
Not this one, the following.
Oh boy, so we're going to get some Aaron Toe action too.
Yeah.
So Navajo, he's on the rise, looking at maybe a main card appearance in the near future. Carlos Olberg, is he going to get a title fight?
Should hope so.
And then who is JDM going to fight? Who's he going to have his first defense against?
These are the questions.
And I'm asking
I don't know. I
who do
know
you
I'm
think?
balding, but I'm not quite Dana White bald yet.
Well, put your Dana White hat on. Put your bald cap on. Who do you think he takes on? Was it Makachev he wanted?
Islam seems rather keen. He was firing some shots at him. What was he saying? Like, you're not Volkanovski, where?
Yeah. But JDM wants to get him back for Volk, right?
Yeah.
That's what he said after the fight.
And JDM with the full cam. Well, we've seen what Volk can do with the full cam against Islam,
Yeah, exactly.
you know. So
Volk's got to stop stepping in on short notice and make sure he's properly prepared.
yeah, that would be a fight and a half. But again, that's almost that classic wrestler versus striker again, which we just had. So probably Islam then. Yeah, I don't know. But
I feel like that's a scary fight for Jack in his first title defense, but you got to do what you got to do.
Big names. Tick them off.
Got to beat the big names.
We'll see. I'll give you an answer on Thursday.
Yeah,
More in
okay.
depth.
We'll come back, and we'll delve into it on Thursday.
Islam's definitely chucking his name in the hat there.
So put your Dana White cap on.
Dana White ball cap.
Yeah. It's come to work bald on Thursday day. And let's figure it out. UFC, let's call it 319. JDM back in four pay-per-views later. All right, let's go to the Super Rugby. Obviously, your Cheifs kind of cementing the top of the table with that win over the Crusaders down in Christchurch.
Back at the top, baby.
Bit of a comeback. Would you call it a Crusaders choke or a Chiefs masterclass in the second half? Because clearly not a masterclass in the first.
I thought the Crusaders' defense in the first half was really good.
Mm-hmm.
They were putting the masterclass on.
Yep.
Up 19 points to 3.
19-10 on the stroke of halftime.
Yep.
So
19-3 was like the biggest lead I think they had.
Yeah, correct.
And then Chiefs were close to scoring a couple more tries in that first half. Sean Stevenson almost had a little grubber through the back line.
Yep.
Crusaders really putting in the effort defensively. And then obviously Will Jordan going off, around the 20th minute.
Yeah.
And Chiefs, as they do throughout the whole season, their second half is just next level.
Well, that's how they started the season, right?
Gear. Yeah.
Just
it's always their
blowing
second half.
teams away in the second half because of the squad depth and bringing guys in off the bench and just running rampant for 30 minutes.
Leroy Carter masterclass.
Yeah. Okay.
It's just like almost more stamina. I don't know what it is. D-Mac cutting through.
Wow, D-Mac back put on a performance, didn't he? He's kind of cementing that All Blacks number 10, and I guess with Will Jordan with his injury, that All Blacks 15 jersey, does that go into the hands of Beauden Barrett? Or could it be Ruben Love? These are the questions.
Well, now he's playing 10, isn't he? So.
Ruben Love, yeah, I know. And we like him. Well, do you like him at 10? I like him at 10.
No, I like him at 10. I like him with the kicking tee in that Hurricanes team is what I do like.
Yes.
Thank God they finally gave him the tee.
I want to go to that game this week. It's Friday night against the Highlanders at the Cape Town. So I might head along.
40 points for the Hurricanes.
Calling it now. 40 points. And the Highlanders, how many?
The Highlanders
50.
don't tackle, do they?
No, they don't. It'll be a good week to get in some Hurricanes players into your Super Rugby fantasy. Have you still been doing that?
Nope.
No, when I was away, I completely forgot about it.
I've left it.
The only one I was worried about was my NRL fantasy.
Yeah, that's tough.
Super Rugby kind of went out the door for me.
That draft is a lot harder and requires more like sort of brain power. Super Rugby, you just Transfer whoever you want.
Yeah. And I mean, with the amount of changes and stuff each week as well, like you could almost do a full sale shop of your team.
Yep.
Just full team out, full new team in every week.
Well, that's what happens with some of the teams anyway.
Yeah, well said.
All these players benched or injured, and it's a whole new team. I didn't realize D-Mac was top 4, though. Most Super Rugby points of all time.
Is he?
I saw that stat pop up. Yeah, and he's
Who's ahead of him? Beauden Barrett.
Okay, who else?
Dan Carter.
Oh, yeah, he's number 1.
Yeah.
Yes. One more.
Is Beauden second or third?
He's third.
Who's second then?
Well, this is going off. There's some convoluting stats. This is going off the Super Rugby website. Is what we're going with.
Does that include Super Rugby, Super 15, Super 14?
Correct. Yep.
All of those?
Yep.
So we've got, is there a South African in at number 2?
Indeed.
Is it Mornay Stain?
Indeed.
Come on! That is huge. But D-Mac's moved into 4.
He's in and among some serious big names there. Yep. D-Mac, Beauden Barrett, Mornay Stain, Dan Carter, Richie Mo'unga, obviously below D-Mac now.
Oh, so he surpassed him with how many points?
Richie.
Yeah, well, how many points does D-Mac have now?
D-Mac
passing?
before, I don't think it's been updated yet, but he had 1364.
Okay. Do you have
Dan
the numbers
Carter,
there?
yeah, 1,700.
Mm-hmm.
Beauden Barrett, 1,514. Mornay Stain, 1,551. This is where it's interesting. On other websites, Mornay Stain only has like 1,488 or something. And I go, how is there such a big... But I'm taking the Super Rugby stats.
Oh, absolutely.
So,
got to take it from the source.
number 6 tripped me out.
Okay.
It's a name I completely forgot about as well. I don't think you would guess number 6.
Number 6. It has to be someone that kicks. But is it someone that kicks?
It is.
Okay, cool. I was thinking like a Brian Habana or something.
He'll be up there with the most tries probably still.
Yeah. Aaron Cruden?
No. One more?
Someone that
What if I said
kicks.
South African? Even
Andre
still,
Pollard?
No.
Did he get up there?
No. I think he was too late in the Super Rugby sort of appearances to
Who
be
is
in
it
this
then?
mix. Elton Yankees,
Oh, wow.
1,189.
Wow, okay.
I did not realize he played that many, obviously for the Lions. I
Yeah.
did not realize he was so...
So we've got Dan Carter, Mornay Stain, Beauden Barrett,
D-Mac.
D-Mac,
Richie.
Mo'unga, Elton
Yankees. It's your top 6.
No Aussies in there.
Nope. I would have almost thought a Pat Lambie from back in the day, the Super 12, Super 14, but I guess his career did sort of end prematurely.
Quade Cooper?
Quade Cooper.
Was he round out of top 10?
I'd have to go back to the top 10. Surely. Matt Ghetto would be up there.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe Matt Ghetto. Prime Matt Ghetto in his headgear.
Gloves on. Gloves on, Matt Ghetto.
I'm just stoked I got that top 4 rounded out.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, it's a pretty easy list if you put a little bit of brain power into it. So
yeah.
I tell you what, if we did that for the NRL, I could not do it at all.
Yep.
I would struggle. Do you reckon you'd be able to
time?
Yeah, all time. Even just like a top 3.
Adam Reynolds is probably up there.
He just surpassed someone, Adam Reynolds, at Magic Round. He scored some points.
He often does.
He did,
He often does.
And he went up. He might have moved to 2nd or 3rd. I think I saw this news.
Okay.
But again, I would struggle in the NRL list. Nico
Hines.
Or was it
probably
him?
Up there. Nathan Cleary's probably up there too.
All time?
Those 3. Yeah. Well, probably for the Panthers, for Nathan Cleary.
Yeah.
Probably not all time.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I hear what you're saying. All right, should we move into some NRL then?
All right. Well, before you
Unless
do, the under-20s, you see that game?
I did, yes. Absolutely
Crazy.
no defense whatsoever.
Massive.
But great to know we've got one up over the Saffers. Let's go!
Yep. Some good interceptions there too. Some unforced errors from the Saffers.
Some brutal hitting, though.
Massive.
Oh, my goodness.
Some big boys.
I watched the highlights on the Sport News last night, and I very rarely watched the Sport News. But it came on, and I was on the couch, and some of those collisions were massive. Like some of the South African boys carrying 3 New Zealand under-20s over the try line, similar with the Baby Blacks too, just powering over the line. Some good finishes in the corner.
The under-20 captain as well. Serious power. He just runs.
The South African one or the New Zealand one?
New Zealand. Well, South African as well. They're number 8, isn't it?
I don't know. There was a South African guy that they chatted to, though, and boy, oh boy, he sounded like he's about 30. or
Just see
40.
some of the Kiwi guys standing next to Sia Khaleesi, they look huge.
Some big under 20 boys.
The game finished really weird though. Did you see the ending?
Yes.
That was such a strange ending.
Nearly shanking the kick into your own dead ball line and it not going out. Also, do you look at the clock?
Yeah, it was like 15 seconds early.
Yeah, it was like 79:30.
Ref's like, that's done. The crowd was pissed. Nelson Mandela Bay were pissed.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Because they're like, there's still 15 seconds there. And the ref's
that's
like, no,
what I
game
thought.
done.
I was thinking, why are we kicking this? And the clock hasn't struck 80.
Then almost shanked it. Over the try line. It went like backwards.
God, that would have been a crazy way to lose.
There were some hands on heads. They're like, oh, shit.
Your heart would be in your mouth. If whoever the kicker was, whoever booted it into the stands,
you'd feel sick.
As that's up in the air floating, that would have felt like an absolute age. Like you're just standing there going, oh my goodness.
Please bounce out. Please.
Because it was probably close enough to the sideline where you could jump from the field of play and knock it back in too.
Yeah, that's what they tried. They tried to do it.
So
also, the red card was weird. That was pretty
followed
harsh.
by a yellow card not long after as well.
Yeah, that's a little bit different.
Stopping the rolling more, attacking
intentional.
More. The red card shoulder to
tough.
head contact, but I guess everything like that.
Yeah, it was like a
these
slip.
days, yeah. Mitigation factors.
Mitigation.
Whatever. Was there any other rugby you wanted to touch on, or should we dive into the NRL?
I think we can move on.
Okay. Obviously, the big talking points was a Waz win, 4 wins on the trot, another gritty performance.
A 1 point dub. Cheifs.
Doing it on the defensive side once again.
Yeah, the last 2 weeks, really.
Yeah.
Relying on a field goal or a penalty goal.
What I like to see is actually taking points when they're up on offer. Like, I don't think you see teams enough take the 2. And in these tight games, 2 points.
It's been the difference.
Has been.
What was it, 4 points the week prior?
Mm-hmm.
I kind of hated it. I kind of hated the 2 points sort of options and the field goal. I don't mind taking the 2 so early on. I feel like you got a bit of momentum. You should back yourself. Take the 6.
No, I do get that.
Put the sword in the dragon. Stab it.
Dragon slayers.
Why are we gonna let the dragon retreat? Let's take 2 points. I don't understand that. But I mean, hey, a win's a win.
Yeah,
we're second.
I mean, if there's 3 points on offer, you take them. I get the momentum thing if you want to try and bury them, but like it's a long game, and obviously they're not disrespecting any of the opponents they're facing.
But it's scary because we're not scoring any points in the second half.
That's what I want to get to because we're defending so well.
We are defending.
We're winning games on the back of our defense.
Yes.
Once our attack clicks, that's when it's going to be scary for the other teams. Because we saw that first half at Magic Round.
Yep.
They blitzed them.
Yeah. But then you should also blitz them in the second.
Well, you should. But
why are we not scoring any points in the second half?
It's not clicked fully for a full 80 the Warriors attack.
Yeah.
Lukey Metcalf is clicking. He is clicking. He is very good. But once that attack does click, I think watch out. We're in second and we've not played a full 80 minutes of good attacking rugby league.
I think he's the only half to score more than 4 tries this season so far.
Is that right?
Luke Mickey.
I like it. He's really kind of filling those shoes.
Definitely.
At least in the current state of affairs, for sure.
But it is, I don't know, when we come up against bigger teams, not scoring in the second half is a bit of a concern.
You got to score in the second half, for sure. But yeah,
second place, let's go.
Oh, yeah, you take those big time. And then obviously Pappenhausen, what is that club record? 36 points against the Tigers.
Hat-trick in like 15 minutes.
I am bamboozled about how he only had 100 fantasy points, though. When you look at, who was it, Xavier Coates?
Yeah.
Had 80 and did absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
Pappenhausen should have like 300.
Yeah, it's insane. I'm glad he didn't. Not that it made a difference. 100 was enough.
You were playing against Pappenhausen?
Yeah, I was playing against Pap.
Tough. But the Storm, they're all the way back against the Tigers. Or are the Tigers, are they a wooden spoon team?
I think when this Melbourne Storm are at their best, no one's beating them. But Tigers didn't do themselves any favours. They had their bad game. They had their bad game. Yeah. Fortunately or unfortunately, it was against a Storm who just chucked 60 on them.
Yeah. Well,
we've had those.
If you're going to have a bad game, you might as well do it against the best team who's going to have their good game.
Better than doing it against the Titans.
Yeah, actually, exactly.
So,
like, if you're going to have a bad game, you might as well have a bad game against a team that should beat you.
Yeah. And also, they just happen to have the best game of their season as well.
Yeah.
They just played so well. how Pappenhausen scored that first try where he kicked it twice to himself, ran through like 5 players, and then caught the ball. Wild.
But I put that on for the second half, and I switched it on, and it was, I don't know, like the 48th minute. And they were just slicing through the defense. Like there was no one there. They'll just break tackles, offload,
Tigers
try.
did not want to tackle
Cool.
at all.
Yeah, all right. Next play.
They did not want to be there.
Breakthrough tackle, offload, try. Cool.
Yeah.
All right, let's do it again. Big Nelson storming through. And saying that, I'm picking up Big Nelson.
Big Nelson.
For our fantasy league. I'm only telling you that because you're above me in the restricted free agency. So even if you did try get him,
even if I did try,
I'd have priority.
Yeah. Where are you sitting?
I think in 5th, but I deserve to be in the top 3 at least. I'm 4-1. I think I've scored either the most or second most points in the comp. I just had a couple rough losses early on, so I'm 6-4.
I was going to say 4-1 doesn't sound right.
4-1 in the last 5, 6-4 overall.
I see.
So I'm on a good winning record now.
I see. Yeah, you've been scoring some points.
And I think that one loss was
business.
5 weeks ago. So if you go on the last 4 games, I'm 4-0. I've been in the top of the table. I'm showing what I'm capable of. I may be in a little bit of trouble this week, though. No Toby Couchman and the Panthers on a bye.
Panthers on a bye.
And Cotter also with the suspension. So my middles are looking a little bit depleted.
Doesn't take much, does it?
No, it really doesn't.
1 or 2 injuries, you add that into your suspensions, you add that into whoever's got the bye, and then all of a sudden, you're short of like 2 players.
And the bench spot only being 4 players means, like for Couchman, he's out till round 14. So that's 4 weeks. I've just got 3 bench spots. Because I don't want to let him go. He's averaging 57 points.
That was me with Nico Hines last year.
Yeah.
Except it was half a season.
Yeah, same with Nathan Cleary.
Yeah,
like,
Nathan
it's
Cleary,
just, it's brutal stuff, having only 4 bench spots. Moment of the round for you. I want to start doing this, specifically with the NRL, because it just produces so many good moments.
It does.
And we might as well just do this weekly. What was your moment of the round? Round 10 for you.
It's got to be Pat. Patrick, 15 minutes. I know there's some other key performers you'll probably yap about, but Pappenhausen hat-trick, specifically that double grubber try, was insane. And he, like, the way he reached for it while also getting pushed to the side by, I think it was Brent Naden, still grabbing the ball and grounding it. That was like peak athleticism. And it's good to see him back at top level
full
when he's been so injury prone and so hindered for so long. So
that is cool to see.
Wow, masterclass.
And just back on the fantasy, if you did take a gamble picking Pappenhausen this year, you are getting paid off big time.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, people didn't want to take him because of that injury.
Injury prone, yeah.
But he is absolutely flying.
Yeah.
He must be pretty up there in the Dally M standings too.
Well, Luke Metcalf is as well.
Is he? Well, deservedly so, I would say.
The thing is with the Melbourne Storm is that you have so many other key performers.
Yeah.
So there'll be people in that team taking points away from Pep, obviously, because he's not.
But, I mean, if you've got those stars around you too, like, they're feeding you, getting you into good positions for you to work your magic as well.
Yeah, but you're all fighting amongst each other as well.
Good problems to have for the Melbourne Storm.
Indeed.
Yeah, I kind of tossed up between, is it a Luke Metcalf just performance? And I mean, maybe a back-to-back performance from Magic Round into this week. But I had to go for Trell Mitt because it's just so funny. I swear to God, he must flip a coin before every game. And if it's head, he plays like the best player on the planet. If it's tails, he just decides not to turn up. Like, it's crazy. He is either the best in the world or he couldn't care less.
Yep.
And his 48-meter drop goal, the 2 try-saving tackles on some big boys too. And I mean, Trell's pretty big himself, but like,
he is a big boy.
He's just a dog when he wants to be. And I love seeing him back for a Rabbitohs win against the Broncos. And obviously just to tap cherry on the cake, the try at the end. I love the try at the end because I had him as anytime try scorer. So check that off.
Yeah.
Lots of people hate it. But that whole performance from Trell Mitt, for me, that's my moment for the round.
Yeah, it was peak.
Where do you stand on that try?
It was peak. What do you mean, where do I stand?
Well,
hell
lots
yeah,
of
brother.
people. Yeah?
Sucks to suck.
You're for it?
Broncos
Yeah,
switched
come
off.
on.
They started walking away from the try line.
Yeah.
No one committed to the tackle. Idiots.
I like it.
Yes, please.
Because everyone's like, oh, sportsmanship, oh, all this, all that. Like, Trowy's the dirtiest player in the league. Only he would do that.
She's not.
If there is an open try line, no one's going to tackle you. Score the points.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
What was he meant to do? Just knock it on? Like, give me a break.
Well, because what? He kind of like surrendered for the tackle.
Yeah.
But then no one went to tackle him.
Like, okay, I'm just going to score.
Like, someone puts a hand on him, he probably doesn't then try sneak over for the try. Someone shows a little bit of enthusiasm about wanting to
close it down.
Tackle trail mate who's just put a dagger through your heart with a 48-meter drop goal. Are you kidding me?
Beautiful. Xavier Willison was pissed. I think it was Cobbo that started walking off the try line, and he was just like, arms
I think
out,
it was
flared,
Cobbo.
like, what the?
Yeah.
But also, who missed the tackle? Can't remember now. Someone tried to go for it.
Oh, after he'd kind of like moved. Yeah.
He half-assed it, and then Latrell just scooped under him. See you later.
Yeah, I mean, there's probably no stopping Latrell Mitchell from half a meter out, low center of gravity when you're not really
when you've given him the head start. Yeah,
exactly. So, but no, good to see the Broncos go down 2 weeks in a row. Bunnies back in the winning circle. I'll take it. And yeah, I think
$375 too for that game.
Is that what they paid?
Yep.
Lovely. Okay, and some more drama.
Who?
If we're talking EPL now, we're gonna talk some EPL. Nottingham Forest. Chris Wood. Well done. Woodsy.
Huge.
Superb, son. First Kiwi to score 20 goals in, is it any top flight? Like,
I think
top
it's
five
Prem.
league?
I think it's just the Prem.
Just
but
Premier
probably
League?
that too.
First Kiwi, 20 goals in the Premier League. Well done. Absolute
Huge.
stud.
Yeah.
Nottingham, on the other hand.
Still fourth, I think. Third or fourth in the top goal scorer market. The Golden Boot. One goal behind Erling.
Yeah. Who's? Would
Mo.
it be Salah?
Yep. Isaac.
Isak.
Haaland.
Chris Wood. Come on. Oh, while we're just talking about New Zealand successes, how good is Ryan Fox?
That was close.
Did you see the chip yesterday?
Yes, I did.
I mean, we were in that meeting, and you just hear like just the cheering as Foxy gets the playoff hole, and then as he hits it into the trees, and way as he puts it in. Oh my goodness! And
Damn, what a
secures a
chip.
spot for the PGA Championship this week too.
Real class.
Pretty gutted he missed out on the Masters. He said that he played all 4 majors for the last 2 years. Missed out on the Masters. One spot available for the PGA Championship, and he grabs it. Lovely stuff from Foxy.
Redemption arc.
Yeah.
On the way.
Absolutely. Anyway, back to the Premier League. Nottingham Forest, bit of drama after the game. Do you know the owner's name?
What is he doing?
I don't know what his name is. You know more about the situation than I do.
It was just embarrassing, ultimately. Even the statement just felt, the whole thing was awkward. Running onto the field.
And poor Nuno.
He kind of looked like he was shouting at poor old Nuno, who's done this club a favour and a half, getting them to where they are. Marinakis.
Is that his name?
He was Greek.
I wonder what he's
Marinakis. Don't care.
Probably like 5 billion.
Anytime an owner's running onto the field to shout at your manager, it's not good scenes.
No.
Especially when your club was top 4 for so long. Especially when your club was prior to, I think, the Prem talking about just avoiding relegation, let alone being where you are now.
It's like the expectation of Nottingham going into this season was avoid relegation, like you said. And then, after the game, he talks about how the expectation of the club is, we want to be playing European football. But it's only got to that expectation after the heck of a season they've had. Like maybe, next year, the expectation is we got to be top 6, top 4, or competing for a Premier League title. Depends what they can hang on to. Depends who they can bring in during the summer.
Yeah.
The expectation going into this season was never going to be European football.
Yeah.
Realistically. Yes, you'd love to have that and dream to have that. But, there should never be a situation, I think, unless you've won the league where your owner
Or it's
comes
the
onto
last home game of the season, anything like that.
And it's for a good reason.
But you shouldn't be running on to shout
No.
at your coach. That's what
Not
it
at
looked
all.
like. It's just saying, congrats to the list, guys. Good game. He comes running in. Oh, dear.
I think that is extremely poor form.
You can see his statement.
And he also probably doesn't care what we think. But
No.
we think it's extremely poor form.
Yeah. But he does say, today is a day for celebration, because after 30 years, Nottingham Forest is now guaranteed to be competing on the European stage once again, as a promise I made to our supporters when we achieved promotion. That's not what that looked like.
No, not at all. What did it look like? What did you say the statement was? About an injured player,
With
right? And
2 more games to go in the Premier League. We must keep believing and keep dreaming. Right to the final kick in the final game. We are extremely proud and close to Nuno and the team, and we must all celebrate the historic achievements of the season, which you also just weren't celebrating.
If that's him celebrating, I'd love to
Cheifs.
see him angry.
Everybody, coaching staff, players, supporters, and including myself, we were frustrated around the injury of Taiwo and the medical staff's misjudgment on his ability to continue the game. This is natural. This is a demonstration of the passion we feel for our club.
Okay, so take that behind closed doors after the game, not in front of fans, in front of millions of cameras to see.
Yeah.
Like, there's better ways of going about that situation.
Yeah. And also, that's just the statement. Whether that's what he was angry about or not, whatever. But at least he's gone, he's trying to make up for it.
And, I mean, the passion
Someone's
of football
told him,
does some
hey,
weird
you shouldn't
things.
be doing that.
Oh, yeah.
He's really
probably
bad.
got a well telling
really
off from the
bad.
board.
Yeah.
The board have probably sat him down and been like, right, no, you cannot do that.
Please.
Like, sat him down. He's probably got a timeout. Oh, well, imagine getting
I don't think an owner can get a timeout. Really.
Well, can the board do that?
Jail.
Can the board do it?
I don't think so. They can have. You can have PR recommendations, public relations.
And then the other talking point, obviously, European football's still on the cards for them. The FA Cup, if City win, Nottingham are in with a chance for Europa League. If not, they'll be in the Conference League.
Well, they can still make it naturally. If a couple of results,
they can still make Champions League results go their way. Just unfortunate they couldn't get the job done over Leicester, a team you should be beating realistically.
Yep.
Already relegated Leicester. Were they at home? They were at home. I believe so.
Who? Nottingham.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So you got to take those 3 points and run away with them. But the one that did make me laugh was the Southampton Man City game. And for the absolute shithousery that's going on in that game, Southampton's social team posting that TikTok about, I can't remember who the City player was, but it was going
Diaz.
Yeah, was it Diaz? Just saying how they didn't turn up to play. I mean, it's no fun playing a football team that doesn't want to be out there. If you're playing a football team that doesn't want to be out there, you should win 10-0.
Yep.
And then Southampton have gone and clipped up all the missed chances City have missed with that, whatever that failing sound is. It's a funny watch. I sent it to you yesterday. And also, you go.
Avoid the terrible stat of the lowest scoring tally in the Premier League season.
Yeah.
By 1 point so far. Derby.
Over Derby, yeah.
Derby County, 11 points. Yeesh.
So they've moved to 12 now. Huge.
Shows how terrible Derby season would have been. To only score 11. How are you not scraping more points?
That would have been a terrible thing to be a part of. But the way they celebrated, you'd think they won the league, the way they celebrated.
Give them a trophy.
Well,
give them a trophy.
You might as well give them the trophy for the second worst points tally in the history of the Premier League.
Yeah.
But fair enough. It's a day of celebration.
Congrats are being terrible.
Anything else in the Premier League? Arsenal?
Ancelotti wants to bring back Casemiro to the Brazilian national team, which is huge.
Yeah?
Huge redemption arc from Casemiro.
Yeah, I like it.
Not earlier this season, everyone's saying football's left him. Leave football before football leaves you. Now he's like putting in clinics in the Europa Leagues. I know you love talking about Europa League, but huge from Casemiro to turn that around, especially under Ruben Amorim. So well done them.
Well, Ruben's now talking about if the results aren't there, I might have to go. How does that feel?
Well, he's basically saying, well, the Europa League, whether we win or not, there's more issues. There's more complicated issues. And I kind of get what he's saying. And he's not being like, we won the Europa League, so everything's fine. He's like, there's still...
So he's being really realistic about it, that you finished 16th in the league.
Obviously, he will want to win the Europa League because we want the money, and we need the money. But he's trying to hammer it home. There's bigger issues.
Just trying to keep everyone grounded.
Keep everyone grounded.
So
Lock in.
If you win the Europa League Would you say have had a better season than Arsenal?
Yeah. Yeah, I would.
Cool. Well, I hope Tottenham
Not in
win.
the Premier League, though, obviously.
Well, just in general. Just
That
like
silverware is silverware.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
From an Arsenal's fan perspective,
And you had to give the guard of honour. How sucky is that?
What do you mean?
To Liverpool.
Oh, did we?
Oh, boy.
But Chelsea did.
Oh, boy.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean,
that's gotta hurt.
So there's three Arsenal fans. Three of us. One of them wants United to win. Three
After
total.
the season.
One of them wants United to win, with the 5-6 other United supporters that are there. So he's just jumping on the back of that. And I'm like, nah, no way. Like, living in New Zealand, we've got the rivalry with Tottenham, but like,
you want Spurs to win?
I do.
How?
Because I don't want to deal with the
like,
United supporters.
The quote-unquote other big London club, you want them to win?
Yep, I do.
That's bonkers.
Just because, like, I don't deal with
bonkers.
Spurs fans. Yeah, the Arsenal fans and Spurs fans are probably going to go at it online, but like that doesn't affect me. If United win, that's going to affect me more.
Right, on a personal level.
Yeah. So from a club perspective, it's a lose-lose. Like, either way, we're not going to win. Like,
I think it's worse if Spurs take it. It's worse for Arsenal.
Yeah, as a club, but for a personal
maybe not for you personally.
Oh, well, but the two of us, so out of the three, one of them wants United to win, myself and the other, we both want Tottenham to win.
Wow.
So, majority rules. Tottenham finished 17th, please, in the Premier League.
Yeah, it's
and
insane,
win the Europa League.
16th and 17th. Let's go.
It's actually it's crazy.
We just had priorities, that's all. Whatever.
Prioritizing it. Well, we had priorities too, and look how that turned out. Next year, I did see we've put in, there's words in the summer transfer about Gyökeres and a couple other signings we're making. So next season.
You already signed someone, haven't you?
Yeah. A DM or like a centre mid. Anyway, NBA playoffs time. Group chat question of the week time. Phil, I'll hand it over to you.
Conference semi-final. Yeah, I mean, there's a couple, 2-2s in there, some 3-2s.
Yep.
Some 1-2s, some 2-1s.
Yep.
It's a mixed bag in the conference. As someone who doesn't know ball, I guess, or barely watches ball, if I have X amount of money, who wins the NBA?
Let me pull up the markets. Well, a game has just tipped off with Celtics Knicks in New York. Knicks up 2-1 in the series.
Yep.
Celtics obviously defending champions.
Yep.
But I don't see. I wouldn't want the Celtics to win from my perspective, and I don't think there's enough value in there. I'll pull up the markets now. So Celtics paying $3 to win the whole thing. Now,
okay. So favorites?
No, Oklahoma City Thunder are the favorites. They've been the best team throughout the whole NBA season. Finished top in the West. Cavs top in the East. Who are currently down 3-1 to the Pacers. So they're on the brink of elimination, and I don't see them actually getting out of that conference semifinal. So I'm hoping for a Pacers-Knicks conference final in the East. I think the Pacers should get the job done. And then in the West, I actually think the winner will come out of the West.
Okay.
So
we're heading west. What's happened to Golden State? What's going on there? No Steph Curry?
Yeah, Steph Curry's injured.
No Steph Curry, no W.
hammy. So they're down 2-1 to the T-Wolves. And the T-Wolves who knocked out LeBron James and Luka and the Lakers. So a big kind of series there for the T-Wolves.
Yep.
They now lead 2-1 against Golden State. And I think the way Ant Edwards is playing, they're kind of winning games without their best performances either. So if they start to click like they know they need to, I think they make it through to the conference finals.
Timberwolves.
And then they got to take on the winner of OKC and the Denver Nuggets, which honestly, that series could go either way. If we got odds on that, we must do. But that's a wild one because we know how good the Denver Nuggets have been, how good Nikola Jokic is, Jamal Murray, just absolute winning machines. They know how to win the playoffs. They've been there before. The Thunder are a young team and have not been there before. So I'd like to see a Thunder T-Wolves conference final in the West.
Okay.
And then
So it's Pacers,
someone
Knicks
in the East.
And you're saying Pacers go through.
No, I'm going to say the Knicks go through.
Okay. Knicks go through.
Knicks go through and take on the T-Wolves.
Okay.
I think it's going to be a tough series for the Thunder. It's like I said, it's 2-2 at the moment against the Nuggets. Wouldn't be surprised to see that go 7 games. Knackered going into the conference finals against a fresh T-Wolves team who should wrap it up against Golden State.
Mm.
Then I want to see Ant Edwards lift the trophy. So, T-Wolves to win it. The markets have gone down because we do have a game currently in play.
Yep.
But when I checked earlier, T-Wolves currently paying $10 to win the title. So that's where I'd be going with my money. T-Wolves, the 6th seed in the West.
Okay.
To win it all.
Huge.
And
either that or your dreaded Celtics just come out of nowhere. Big comeback, win the whole thing.
That would be so boring. And we don't need another Tatum cringe moment.
I actually remember that from last year. It was all over social, wasn't it?
It was, just because he tried to have his thing. Like, if you win something, you have your thing.
Yep. Pat Mahomes moment.
Pat Mahomes, your Kevin Garnett moment, which is what basically Tatum did in the Celtics jersey, being like, we did it, oh my God. Whatever that was. But I think if Ant Edwards wins, he'll just have something cold. He'll have something cool that he does, and it won't be cringe.
Okay.
So I want to see that.
Avoid the cringe.
Avoid the cringe.
All right. $10 too.
Paying 10s, yeah. So I would probably get on that. They're paying $3.50 to win the conference, the West.
Okay.
Which is second favourites behind OKC. So, yeah, lock it in. T-Wolves win the NBA Finals.
Bang.
Have that, yeah.
All right. Cheapers.
Yeah, and I think that's all I've got for you today.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm going to fade that and back the Celtics. Nice.
Boo!
What are the Celtics paying? Did you say $3?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Second favourite behind OKC. So $3 for the Celtics to win it all. But they got to get past the Knicks first.
They do.
Currently down 2-1. So I don't like those odds.
No.
Down 2-1.
Down 2-1 and still $3 bones.
Still $3 to win the whole thing. They're still going to get through this series, a next series, and then a final series.
Knicks are the favourite.
In this current series? It's a good question. I don't know. I actually don't think they are, even though they lead the series. I don't think they are.
Well.
Crazy. That's just, I guess, how good the Celtics are. But you could have said the same for the Cavs. I mean, even though they were 2-0 down against the Pacers, they brought it back to 2-1. But 2-0 down, they were still favourites to win the series. So, yeah. Anyway, I think that's enough for today.
Yep.
Let's wrap it up, and we'll be back on Thursday for the Odds On edition, where we need to get into some hosted pots for the Auckland FC semi-final. If you haven't already, sign up for that Bet Your Base. Double pass VIP. Let's go. And yeah, another round for the NRL. Let's see if we can get some winners.
Big.
Till then, see you next time.